Everybody seems to think that when you're out hiking in nature, you have to carry the most lightweight gun you can find. Well, today I'm going to be breaking down exactly why that's not true. How's it going, guys? And welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk again. My name is Chad, and this is the Hopeful Homestead. You're out here in my little tiny cabin on wheels right now, parked at my little campsite I built. And in this series of videos, I like to think I'm talking to all the husbands and dads out there that are just trying to make it through life, dealing with all the difficult things we have to deal with. And once again, we're talking about firearms. And specifically, what you carry when you're out in nature hiking. When you're out by yourself, or maybe with your family hiking, but certainly by yourself when you have no way of carrying more than one gun that is at your ready and just truly at your disposal when you need it. Yes, you could in theory carry a rifle on your back while you're hiking, but if anybody who's an actual hiker knows, that's not realistic. If you're going to try to traverse like 5-10 miles while hiking, especially in a mountainous area, you're not carrying a rifle on your back. The best thing is you're going to be carrying a pistol. And so that means your pistol needs to be capable of doing it all, of being accurate enough, quick enough, powerful enough, and reliable enough to be able to do the job. And that typically means coming at a cost of your ears, because you're not going to be hiking out in nature with ear protection on. So that means that you're probably going to have to carry something that's going to go bang, and it's going to go bang loud, which is why I carry a Colt Python, 6-inch Colt Python when I'm out hiking in nature. The Colt Python is a legendary firearm that many swear by as being the best pistol they've ever owned. And I can attest to the fact that this thing is incredibly accurate. It's got the smoothest double action trigger I've ever used, and the single action on this is great as well. Being that it's a 6-inch barrel, you don't really have to sacrifice in terms of accuracy. It's got a big orange front sight on it. It's got big raised rear sights that are adjustable, and it's just really easy to acquire a good sight picture. The linear pull of the double action trigger is very smooth and allows you to keep your sights centered on your target. And to boot, ergonomically, it's got a big old gunfighter grip that balances well in the hand. And it's got a 6-round capacity. And since this is a transfer bar firearm, you can carry 6 rounds with one under the hammer safely without having to worry about it, which is what I do in nature, because if I'm hiking, I need to have all 6 rounds at my disposal just in case. And I choose .357 Magnum specifically because it's one of the best pistol calibers you can get for the purposes of having a combination of high velocity and heavy punch all in one round. Because when I'm carrying this thing out in nature hiking, I'm carrying this with a heavy load .357 mag. That is the Buffalo Bore Heavy Outdoorsman ammunition. It is .357 mag. I think it's a 158 grain bullet, if I remember correctly. That is a flat nose, hard cast lead bullet that's designed not to misshapen or break apart as it's passing through muscle tissue and cracking through bones. It's designed to not deflect. It's designed to cut straight through all bone and muscle matter material to penetrate deep, which is why it's designed specifically for big game, protection against big game. Specifically, this heavy outdoorsman stuff is designed to be grizzly worthy. And I'll say this coming out of a rifle is traveling at like 2,500 feet per second. And coming out of a 6-inch Python, it's coming out at like 18 or so 100 feet per second, if I remember correctly. That for a 158 grain bullet coming out of a pistol, that is some serious velocity coming out of a pistol. And it produces quite a bit of recoil. So getting back to the point of this video being that you shouldn't have a lightweight gun, if you had a lightweight, like aluminum frame pistol, even if you could somehow get something that was light enough weight with a heavy ammunition in it, like a .357 mag, the recoil on it is going to be way, way too big for follow-up shots. I carry this because it is a big, heavy honking pistol that's all wood and steel that handles the recoil well. It's got a long enough barrel and a good enough heft and weight to it to where when it fires, it still punches you, but it definitely is manageable, and you can reacquire your sight picture quickly and make follow-up shots without having to deal with too much recoil. If you're using a smaller and more lightweight firearm, that would be more difficult. Or you'd be sacrificing on the capability of the cartridge by having to pick something lighter weight like a 38 Special or something. It's just not going to get the job done for protection against wildlife like grizzlies and black bears and stuff. Heck, being out here in Florida, when I'm hiking in Florida, I have to deal with the potential for black bear, Florida panther, 200-pound Florida panthers. I have to deal with the potential for alligators when I'm near water, and 200 to 300-pound wild boar that charge you with big old sharp tusks. They have very similar behavioral patterns to grizzlies, where they're very protective of their young, and they will charge you from a distance if they think you're a threat. So I need to be able to have something that counts, that one round will count if it makes contact, and then a second follow-up round will put the thing down. And that's why I carry the Colt Python for that purpose. Don't be fooled into all the people out there recommending all these lightweight guns for hiking. It's a common theme with hiking to try to be packing as light as possible, and that might be true for everything else in your bag and everything else on your person while you're hiking, but don't sacrifice on what's protecting your life from anything that could be threatening you out there. Carry a big gun with big rounds and big power, because you'll regret not having it if you run into something that you need it for. But all right, I'm putting this back in the holster, taking another sip of coffee, and bidding you adieu until the next video. Thanks for being here, guys. Hit the like button. Let me know what you carry when you're hiking in the comments. If you guys are hikers out there, what do you carry with you when you're hiking? And don't go telling me all you need is bear spray. I can carry a can of bear spray too, as well as this pistol, but I'm gonna make sure I'm well equipped to defend myself, and especially if I've got my family with me, well equipped to defend them as well. So thanks for watching. Again, my name is Chad. This is the Hopeful Homestead, and if you feel like sticking around, there's a video right here talking about the guns I use to defend the homestead when I'm out here on our family's property doing any homestead work, building fences, building this campsite, building this cabin. I carry a certain set of firearms for that job, so go check that out, and I'll see you in that video. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one.